All right, I think we are live. Kavita, you can go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Shall I be sharing the screen showing the
Mm,
MOI?
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Just 1 second. Hello, everyone. Yeah, this is just a start. I believe you can see my screen now. Um, yeah. So, um, this is
Sorry to interrupt, Kavita. I can't see your
yeah.
screen. Is
Oh,
there
okay.
any issue?
1 second. Okay. 1 second. I'll share the desktop then. Yeah. So. Welcome, everybody. Are you able to see the screen now?
Yeah, but not of the meeting minutes.
Really? Uh, what are you actually seeing now?
I'm
Just one
seeing
second.
the desktop and the Slack.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I actually shared the wrong one. Mm, okay. Sorry for the delay. This is the first time I'm actually hosting something.
Mm,
Stop to
yeah.
share. Yeah, right now. We are ready to go. So today we are actually going to start the certified Meshery contributor study hall meeting, and then I would actually be covering a few topics like what exactly Meshery is, what this certification is about, and whom these are actually intended to uh, um, be used for who can actually who all can actually benefit from the certificates and who should be taking it. Then there's this link related to contributors sharing their experiences. There is an official blog, and then how to enroll the exam and Meshery certification program tags. So what
Mm,
exactly is Meshery? I am not sure. Like, we would be actually having uh, in the future some audience who are actually comfortable with Kubernetes, who are comfortable with Docker, who are actually comfortable with service meshes and all. So I thought I will actually give a holistic view about Meshery in general. So what exactly is Meshery? In the olden days, like I would actually say like a decade or two ago, we used to actually have monolithic services alone. That is actually like services which were actually created and hosted on standalone servers. It used to be like deployments used to be just one SCP away from the server in production. And scaling means like physically investing in hardwares, adding more memory, more disk RAID setups. You get the idea. So the problem there was that often it used to happen that yeah, from bare metals to containers. Yeah, that's the correct one. So often what happens is that it used to happen that developers used to actually do tests, various kind of tests on their environments and then put it in production. Having things broken in production became a normal chore, normal thing to happen. Um, as in when teams actually grew and they wanted to actually deploy faster. So uh, this is actually working in my laptop or my system. That used to be like an annoying statement that both developers who develop the issues and people who were actually asking for root cause analysis, both of them were actually frustrated, both this category of people. And then came in 2000, circa in 2013 or 14, Docker came into existence. And it was actually a game changer in the sense that you had all the dependencies bundled, and configurations and everything, code, everything bundled as a package, and then deployed as containers. So that was a game changer because you now you could actually just have a set of commands to use the same environment that you are actually using in production. You can actually replicate that in your dev environment, and you could actually do the uh, debugging or troubleshooting, whatever. So as and when the containers increased, and then there was actually this move from monolithic architecture to microservices. So as and when scaling actually happened, it became difficult to you know uh, um, orchestrate, or became difficult to manage the containers. So Kubernetes actually started out in 2015-ish, um, to uh, to do the orchestration, manage the containers and everything. As was fast, and and services, as the microservices actually evolved further, services wanted to actually communicate with each other, and there is this concept of having pod in case of Kubernetes that would contain a container, and you could actually have sidecars. You could actually put inside the deployment YAML itself the rules to communicate from one service to another. But as the scale of communication between the services actually increase, there arose a need for something called a service mesh. In case of service meshes, they actually take care of infrastructure. You don't need to actually change your package, everything related to communication between the services, the networking, the retries, and all those things. Those would actually be taken care by service meshes. And when service meshes came, it was actually again projects under CNCF, like Istio, Lingard. All of them actually use different kind of languages for their implementation. They used different kind of, they came with their own tooling, um, and it became kind of difficult to do that cloud native management. So that is the place where Meshery actually came in. Meshery came in as a way to have self um, self-serviced, cloud native management, in which the initial idea was to actually help the service meshes talk to each other properly. And now, as we speak, Meshery is actually more than just a service mesh management system. It actually helps you to it has something called Canvas, with which um, you can actually visualize your infrastructure. It is a great tool to help platform engineers, um, SREs, DevOps people to manage their infrastructure better. So that's Meshery, with each layer of, with each way of at the as the technology actually moves further, you have different layers, and you have certain levels of abstractions. So the current thing, which is the current layer of abstraction, is this one, Meshery. That's about Meshery. So what is Meshery contributor certification? Um, okay. So this is actually there was a blog post written by Lee in October 2025, where we actually told about the certifications. And this is actually because multiple choice question based certification, which validates the technical proficiency for people who are actually developers. They can actually or people who are actually contributing to the community, they should be actually attending this. There are actually 5 units in this one. Each of them is actually architectural domains, like Meshery server, CLI, UI, models, and extensibility. So the duration is actually for 2 hours. The passing rate is 70%, and the validity is actually for 2 years. Um, and there is actually a certification track too. Mm. So, once again, sorry. Why does the certification matter? I am actually somebody who is having 15 years of experience in the industry, so it actually helps me because this is the first time I'm actually contributing to open source, and this is actually a way to say that uh, I am actually doing helpful contributions, and there is this blog which states about says the experiences where the people who have actually attended the certification are sharing their experiences. Um, so this is actually the a template sample certificate that you will be getting at the end of the certification. Um, how to enroll in this program? You just have to go to layer5.io, and then the layer5.io academy, and then you can actually see the certifications there. um, you can just click on this enroll now and then attend all these 5 units at your own pace. There are some resources which are actually there, which consist of self-paced trainings as well as the prerequisites. It actually contains a set of video tutorials, the slides that have been actually used previously, and a couple of write-up from docs.meshery.io. Um, Next is actually about the program tracks. Currently, there is okay. Um, so there are various program tracks. Currently, the one is actually there for the administration track. One is for the developers track, and one is for uh, the community track. So where we are is actually this one. The rest of them are actually things that are actually in progress. In the community track, you have actually Meshmate and Meshmaster, but covering that is actually out of scope for this particular meeting. Over to Ronak for um, further things. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, thanks, Kavita, for this one. So, we'll be talking about a lot of things over here in this study group, but before moving on to all of them, let's have a quick introduction about you guys. So, this is the first meeting for the CMC study group, and will help you prepare how you can prepare for the certification. And we'll be covering each of the documentation in detail and some practice questions as well. So, a lot of things will be happening. But before that, let's have a quick introduction, and I encourage everyone to turn on their cameras so that we can have an interactive conversation. So, talking about me, I'm someone who comes from a non-tech background, and I've contributed to this community for like a few months back, and it's really one of the amazing decisions of my life coming here. But I'm currently in college and I'm in my third year, so that's it's a quick one for me. And please, if anyone would like to go ahead and introduce yourself. So this is a lightweight session that will be talking about the certification. We'll be navigating its syllabus and the exam format, and we're talking a lot about it. And then from the next of the session, we'll be deep diving into each of the units.
Okay, so can I go?
Yeah, sure. Hi, Joy.
Okay, thank you very much, Ronald. Yeah, so my name is Joy, and I'm a front end engineer, and I I just stumbled upon open source, and I decided to give it a shot and contribute to some repositories, and I found the Meshery repository project, and this has increased my interest in an open source, and I started contributing, I think just a month ago. Yeah,
Mhm.
so based on that, I would love to become a certified Meshery contributor, and then I joined the study group.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Joy. To those who all don't know, so this is the first ever study group happened in in the community. So we'll be covering a lot of resources and over here. So yeah, that's a great place if you want to get yourself prepared for the certified ministry contributor certification.
Can I
Hey,
go
hi,
for the
everyone.
introduction?
Yeah, please go ahead.
So,
Hi,
hi everyone,
everyone.
myself Kachi. I am a second year undergrad student from NSUT pursuing my BTech degree in computer science and engineering. I previously started to contribute in Meshery, but I feel I need to learn a lot more things about Meshery. So, that's why I'm here in the study group.
Thanks, Prachi. So we'll be sharing a lot of things over here that will help you gain back your uh things. So yeah, yes, Dave.
Hi, everyone. I can give you my introduction. I'm a final year student at Bujpani, and uh, I would like to contribute to Mishri in like upcoming days or weeks, and would love to learn as much as I could for Mishri. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Dave, for introduction. So you can also mark your attendance over here in the attendees section if anyone has not. So I'll share the link of the document in the chat as well. All right, so you can drop your quick introductions in the chat. Uh, Kavita would be there to assist you. But so talking about it, so we have over 30 people who have been certified as mystery contributors till now. And as Kavita talked about, so what is exactly is Meshery? So it's a central management plane that helps teams manage their Kubernetes and cloud native infrastructure. And so, for example, a company is running its Kubernetes application on different cloud providers like AWS or GCP. So they can use like Meshery to manage their infrastructure and Kubernetes application and optimize it directly from a single place. But it does a lot of things over that as well. So talking about the certification, so I will be touching more upon this. So this is the project's first certification and first of its kind from CNCF. So CNCF has so many certification, but this one focuses more on the contributor aspect of it. And talking about it, like it validates your technical proficiency in one of the Meshery's major architectural domains. So these are each of the architectural domains is a single exam or a sub exam that we are having in this certification. So the target audience for it is if we have any intermediate skills like Go, React, and Open API. So that would be really helpful. But even if not, so anybody can take up the certification. But some of the like cool thing is about this certification is that it's free. So most of the CNC certification, like we have seen the Cubestronaut and things like that, they're quite expensive, but it's free and it's valid for 2 years, and it also has a good passing rate, 70%, and you can take it on your on your own pace. So, if, for example, if I have taken a certification for the first unit, so it's not like I have to complete the other 4 units in these days. So you can take up in your own pace, but so this is the Meshery certification program. So the CMC certification is part of the certification program. So the design tracks that just Kavita showed, the administrator development community, they have multiple certifications that will reach you to a certain goal. But most of the certifications, like it's coming soon, so it's not released till now. But this one is about the developers track, so you can explore all the Meshery certification program over here. And uh, so you would be also getting a badge after you have passed this certification. So you can check out this blog post. I'll be sharing it in the chat. And you can definitely, after completing this certification, you can pin your credential in your profiles and resume, highlighting by like an official CNCF certification that you have get, and how like it helps contributors. So as Kavita mentioned, it quite helps a lot by providing some credibility that okay, you have contributed to such a big project. Like we are like sixth highest velocity moving project in CNCF. So uh, definitely it helps. Who should take it? So uh, if you're a college student or if you're a working professional, there's no limit to it. Anybody can take it. And if you want, if you're someone who wants to take it, that's why you are here. So you can check out this blog post where like people who have took this certification have mentioned like what preparing for the CMC looked like. And this is a credential that Kavita also mentioned. This you will be getting after you have passed the certification. And most of the people they mentioned like it was really good experience for them, and it was like a natural extension of their work while working on their project to get this certification. And most people like they don't call it a conventional certification, but it feels much more like a structured way to deepen your understanding of Mystery project. So even though like it's MCQ, but preparing for it naturally pushes you and to explore the documentation further, and then you learn a lot of things about different aspects of Mystery. So we also like celebrate all of our certified Mystery contributors on our socials as well. And so uh, people also mentioned like some of the experiences, what advice for future certified mystery candidates. So this one is from like Bhumika. So don't just read, try things hands-on, and you can go through the documentation properly, and you can ask questions in the community as well. So it's worth checking out this blog post if you are taking up this certification. So because you learn from others' experiences as well. And this is about enrolling into the examination in the cloud.meshery.io. So uh, so mine I've completed the certification. That's why it's 100%. So as you can see, it's total unit 5, and it's a beginner level certification. It's not like it's a very advanced certification. So that's why anybody can take it. Uh, and you will be getting the digital badge, and also like we have a retake policy of 3, so each of the units you're allowed up to 3 retakes, and we also have a bunch of question pool for it. So each if you take a unit twice or thrice, so the question pool we will get refreshed, and we will be seeing a different set of questions in that. And the scoring is like for 5 units, you will be having 20% allotment for each of the units. And you can check out some of the units over here. So the each of the architectural domains is one of the units over here. And as Kavita also mentioned, these are some of the self-paced trainings that have been recorded in the past. So we have some of the slides and the recording uploaded on YouTube for it as well. So you can check them out, but we'll be covering them. But if you're someone like who is ahead of the class every time and who is like does their homework early on and then you know who I'm talking about. So if you're someone like that, so you can check out all these things prior to that. But these are like the prerequisites for each of the units. So for each of the architectural domains, we have a documentation that's the main prerequisite for the certification. So each of the questions like ask if you have read the documentation thoroughly and if you've gone through some of the questions, so and if you have understood it, so it's an easy to pass the certification. So we'll be exploring all the documentation and each of the things step by step. But what exactly will be covered in this study group? So we'll be helping you to participate and prepare effectively for the certification. And talking about the units, so first we'll be covering from the next week. We'll be covering the first unit that is contributing to Meshery CLI. So you can explore this documentation. So Meshery CTL is a command line interface for the Meshery server. So it interacts with the Meshery server and it's written in Golang and it uses the Cobra framework. So what exactly is Cobra? So Cobra is a framework written in Golang that helps to make CLI applications. So if you have used kubectl, Hugo, and Docker, so these things are reference for fit. But so if you want to uh, contribute to Mystery CLI or learn more about it, so good thing would be to familiarize yourself with some of the Cobra concepts. So this is the README file for the Cobra project. So I can pass this link in the chat. So it mentions of like how you can install it and everything. So uh, we'll be covering it in the hands-on session that we'll be doing in the next session, how you can install Meshery CTL and configure it. But if you can explore it yourself as well. So uh, talking about designing commands and building CLI, so we have different number of commands in Meshery CTL and some of the flags or options. So we have so much of them, but I believe there's a documentation about installing it as well. Yeah, so this is about contributing to Meshery CLI end-to-end test. So there's Meshery CTL, the command line interface. Then another thing we have is the end-to-end test part of it. So uh, it provides a way to interact with Meshery and perform various operations. So, such as installing, configuring, and managing your cloud native infrastructure. This is like what Meshery CTL does. So, the end-to-end testing for the Meshery CTL uses a framework called as BATS, that is the Bash Automated Testing Framework, to define and execute CLI tests. And the tests get triggered on when any of the change in directories in the Meshery/Meshery repository is, or either to the Meshery CTL. So these are some of the prerequisites before you dive into the end-to-end testing framework for this one. So you have to install the batch testing framework and a working installation of the Meshery CLI and the server. So to set up the batch score, you can use any of the package managers. We'll be also covering what exactly are package managers. So talking a brief about it, like when you're installing, let's say, any of the packages, let's say you're installing Python or Golang. So rather than so one option that you have is that you install it directly, go to the documentation and directly install it, and then configure the path in your system to the binary so that your computer can find that, okay, this is the binary for Golang over here. And another option is you use package managers. So package managers are like manages your packages by directly configuring your path and everything. So you don't need to worry about that. You can just directly install them and your path will get configured. So Brew is one of the package managers for Mac OS, and so you can directly run Brew. If you're on Mac OS, you can directly run Brew install batch score, and that's all you have to do to install it. And if you can also use npm, or if you're on Windows, you can like directly also clone the patchcore.kit and run the installation script as well. So you can also run the make command to set up the dependencies. So we'll be also covering what exactly is make and what are make files. So make files are like a way to build and test your code. So they have specific make targets. So um, that's a consistent architecture that we have in all of our Meshery projects as well, that we have a make file in each of the projects. But talking about the how to start the Meshery server, so you can directly run the make server command. It will internally run some set of commands that's written in the make file, and that will help you start the server. So we'll be covering about the authentication and everything. So this is the folder structure of it. So you can check out this documentation as well. I'll be sharing this link in the chat. That's another documentation about the Meshy CLI style guide. So it has some of the design principles that you make sure when you are designing any of the command. So consistency is very important when you're making any command or having any naming convention. For example, if you're having a command like Meshery CTL, if you're designing a command and it's like Meshery CTL perf run -f performance management profile name. So this may sound like more intuitive when you're using the command run, but a common people who have much more experience using the CLI, they will prefer the verb apply over here because it ensures consistent language making, and that's what you have seen in other CLI tools as well, like kubectl and whatnot. So these are some of the design principles that you can check out while designing CLI, and you can also check out the how different CLI tools have been designed and how the naming convention of each of the flag works. And so we have two things like the GUI, the graphical user interface, and the CLI, the command line interface. So you can check this documentation that will help you to design and what are some of the principles that we make sure when we are designing any command. So I'll be sharing this link in the chat as well. So each of the things will be covering in this documentation as well. So this is currently like a lightweight introduction to each of them. And you can check out some of the more resources. So this the Meshery CLI end-to-end testing recording, and we have some of the slides over here as well about how you can contribute to end-to-end testing. And if I go ahead and check the contributing to Meshery CLI, so uh, it's been made by like some of the maintainers over here, like Matthew and Aditya. So it introduces about what exactly is Meshery CTL. That is it's an app to interact your Meshery instance and manage the life cycle of Meshery. And we have a quick some diagrams about the architecture of it as well. So we'll be covering that as well. And this is how the repository structure of it is. And to install Meshery CTL, you can like directly hit curl with this command, or you can use the package managers thing that I mentioned. So for if you're in Mac OS, you can use Brew, or if you're in Windows, so if you have specific package managers for Windows like Scoop or Chocolatey, so you can use the Scoop. And and yeah, more things like on Cobra. So we'll be covering like everything. So what exactly is POSIX and what is Cobra and some of the main Cobra concepts that are required to uh, contribute to Meshery CLI, and things related to the Bash automated testing framework and things like that. But you can also check these slides. Can share that as well. Moving on to like another unit that we have about the Meshery server. So these are some of the documentation of it, and you can check out one of the contribution guide about the build and release CI. So if you are like contributing to the CI pipelines of it, that's must to check. So it's have all the secrets over here, that what all secrets and variables you use if you're writing workflows or anything, how you can lint, what exactly is linting, what are go linters, what are static checks. So linting is like, so linting is a common thing that you will be finding in any of the CIs. So it helps you. What exactly is linting is, um, it tests your code base, like it doesn't have any syntax errors, or if you're not like if you forget to put that last curly brace on. So it checks for that, but it does more than that. Like it also checks about different errors like exceptions and everything. So you can definitely explore more on that as well. Moving on to another unit, we have like Meshery models and Meshery UI. So we also have some supplementary documentation that you can check out if you want to contribute to the Meshery documentation, that is using the Jekyll framework. So this is the framework, and we are using the theme Doxy over here for Jekyll, and we are also migrating this site to Hugo. These are frameworks like, so these are static site generators that you also know about if you know. So static site generators build your pages ahead of time, and they're fast. Like if you are going to, let's say, amazon.com/products or slash TV, so it will query the database and then serve the page to you. So rather than uh, having that, we have static site generators that build the HTML, CSS, JavaScript code ahead of time, and it's quite fast as well. So this site is running on one of the frameworks called Jekyll. So here you write your documentation into Markdown files, and this will get compiled to the HTML, CSS, JavaScript code. So if you want to contribute to the documentation, you can check out how you can install. So if you're on Windows, you can fire up your WSL VM directly, and you can set it up. So you have to install some of the Ruby. So Jekyll is written in Ruby. So you can install Ruby framework for it. And we have some sort of gems in the Ruby. So gems are like dependencies. So if you're familiar with NPM, the NPM package manager, so similar to that, we have like gem that is helps to install your dependencies. And we also, like, a good convention is to don't commit the gem file. So after you have modified it, and another file is called as a gemlog file. So we have, or if you are on Linux, so you can directly run the sudo apt-get, or if you are in Mac OS, so there would be specific for that as well. Yeah, so if you're in Mac OS, you can follow this guide. So we'll be covering each of them unit by unit in the future sessions. But talking about it, this was the lightweight introduction about each of the units, about the Meshery server, Meshery UI models, and extensibility and CLI. So if you have any questions, or me and Kavita would like to answer that.
Uh, yeah, how is it that Meshery kettle uh, is only installable through a bash installation thing? It's neither on AUR nor like there's no go install thing going. I didn't get what like is it a like a resource constraint you never thought about applying for the I mean I don't think you have to apply for AUR but like going that way because I even in the docs it's mostly concerned with brew.
Is AUR a separate package manager for it?
No, essentially it's just your Git you can just post anything in your GitHub, and I don't think there are any bigger hoops to install it on Arch because it's not the prime uh, uh, what do you call it uh, repo not repo but the package thingy.
Yeah, so each of the package managers that we have, so it has like some sort of tabs in it. So Brew has some tabs, and Scoop and Chocolatey has some tabs. So Scoop has some buckets, Brew has some tabs. So while installing, we currently only use these, and we like don't use the AUR thing that you're mentioning.
Isn't AUR specific to Arch Linux alone, or I mean, I'm not sure. I haven't actually
It
used
is
that before.
exclusive to that, but I was wondering because even Go install wasn't there. Because a lot of packages directly are installed with Go install and repo link.
Mm. Yeah, I've seen like some of the packages we can use, yeah, go install and then the GitHub repo link. So yeah, if you want to improve it, or if you think that's an issue, you can just open up an issue for that.
Um, I was just wondering if I mean, majority of us, we are actually using Linux, I think we are actually looking the Ubuntu flavor of it. I am not sure how much Arch Linux is supported, but yeah, as Ronak mentioned, maybe we can actually explore that.
No, because for the Linux thing, you have the bash command thing. It is actually considered very uh, like security wise very vulnerable because you're executing someone else's bash script. So even a typo in one of those things is very risky. So we should actually, for at least like all the open source operating system flavors, we should move away from executing bash scripts and something else.
Yeah, perhaps we should. Do we have any more questions or thoughts, Kavita?
Since this is an introductory session, we can actually wait for maybe 3 more minutes and then wind up early if there is no more questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ananya, the timing of the sessions will be actually from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock our time, IST, or 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. CT. We actually had a poll earlier, but it was later decided that Fridays would actually suit the best. So this would be the timing moving forward every Friday. Yeah.
All right, I think no more questions we have. So, I request everyone, please make sure that you have marked your attendance over here. So, if you have any questions, you can feel free to drop in the Slack channels as well. We'll be seeing you in the next study group session on the next Friday. So, thanks everyone for joining. Kavita, would you like to end up with a closing note?
Yeah. Have a nice weekend, and let's actually catch up on next Friday. Hope these sessions actually help you to clear CMC certification, and hope all of you actually find these sessions to be valuable. Yeah. So happy to
Thanks,
help.
everyone.
Thank
Thank
Bye.
you,
you.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.